Ibrahim's decision to leave the club under the new management of Arne Slot marks a significant turning point in both his career and the club's transitional period. As the dust settles around this unexpected move, fans and pundits alike are left contemplating the factors that led to his departure and what it signals for the club's future. Having been a crucial figure at the club for several seasons, Ibrahim's influence stretched beyond just his performances on the pitch. He was widely regarded as a leader in the dressing room, a player whose work ethic and dedication inspired younger teammates. His decision to part ways, therefore, comes not just as a change in the squad but as a shift in the very ethos that had come to define the club during his tenure. Arne Slot's arrival ushered in a new era, one that promised a fresh tactical approach and an emphasis on youth development. Slot, known for his progressive and pressing style of football, began laying the groundwork for a rebuild that would align with his vision. However, with every change in leadership comes friction, and it soon became apparent that Ibrahim's role under this new regime would not be as central as before. Reports from inside the camp suggest that Ibrahim initially welcomed Slot's arrival, intrigued by the challenge of adapting to a new system. Yet as pre-season unfolded, the signs of a philosophical divergence between player and manager began to surface. Ibrahim, known for his structured and positional discipline, found himself being asked to play in a freer, more fluid role, one that didn't necessarily highlight his strengths. Despite his best efforts to adapt, it became evident that Slot envisioned a different profile of player for the position Ibrahim had made his own. Younger talents began receiving more minutes in friendlies, and Ibrahim's name gradually slipped down the pecking order. For a player of his stature and experience, this was not just a professional challenge, it was a personal one. What makes Ibrahim's exit particularly poignant is the grace with which he handled the transition. There was no public outburst, no disparaging remarks about the club or the new manager. Instead, he met the situation with maturity, holding private discussions with the management before making the decision to leave. It was a gesture of respect, both to the club that had given him so much and to the fans who had supported him unwaveringly. Slot, for his part, was quick to acknowledge Ibrahim's contributions. In his farewell press conference, the manager spoke highly of the departing star, describing him as a model professional and an important part of the club's identity. It was a mutual parting, one devoid of animosity but laden with the weight of inevitability. The locker room reportedly felt the void almost immediately. Younger players who had leaned on Ibrahim for guidance suddenly found themselves navigating the early days of the season without their mentor. The balance between evolution and preservation is a delicate one, and in choosing to prioritize long-term vision over immediate continuity, Slot took a gamble that could either define or derail his tenure. Fans responded to the news with a mix of disappointment and understanding. Social media was flooded with tributes, thank you messages, and nostalgia-filled video compilations highlighting Ibrahim's best moments. From last-minute winners to his impassioned celebrations, the outpouring of emotion served as a testament to the deep bond he had formed with the supporters. Many see Ibrahim's departure as a necessary step in the club's evolution, while others view it as a premature farewell for a player who still had much to offer. The truth, as is often the case in football, likely lies somewhere in between. Change, though difficult, is often essential in moving forward, even if it comes at the cost of losing beloved figures. There's also a broader context to consider. Football is increasingly becoming a game of cycles, where longevity is sacrificed at the altar of tactical fit and squad rejuvenation. Ibrahim, at 29, still has several good years left in him. But in a system built around high intensity and fluid transitions, perhaps the club felt it was time to invest in players who more naturally embodied those principles. Sources close to Ibrahim say the decision was emotionally taxing. He had built a life in the city, developed deep friendships within the squad, and felt a strong connection to the fans. Leaving wasn't just about football, it was about uprooting a life, closing a chapter that had defined much of his professional identity. Speculation now turns to where he might go next. Several clubs across Europe are reportedly interested, including sides in Germany and France. Ibrahim's profile as a seasoned midfielder with leadership qualities makes him an attractive proposition, particularly for teams seeking experience and composure in the middle of the park. Wherever he ends up, there's little doubt that Ibrahim will continue to be an asset. His professionalism, versatility, and tactical intelligence have earned him respect throughout the footballing community. The club he leaves behind, however, must now prove that his departure will not destabilize the foundation he helped build. Slot's challenge moving forward is to justify the decision through results and performances. If the team flourishes and the new system bears fruit, his vision will be vindicated. If not, questions will inevitably be asked about the wisdom of letting a key figure leave at such a pivotal juncture. For now, the focus returns to the pitch. The new season awaits, and with it, the chance for both Ibrahim and the club to write new stories. Fans will be watching closely, cheering for the club's success while keeping an eye on their former hero's journey. In many ways, this is what makes football so compelling: the constant tension between past and future, the bittersweet nature of transitions. Ibrahim's departure underlines the emotional weight carried by such decisions, especially when they involve figures who have come to symbolize more than just a role on the field. There are lessons to be learned here. For clubs, the importance of clear communication and dignified exits cannot be overstated. For players, the ability to walk away with grace, even in disagreement, defines character as much as any on-field performance. It's also a moment for reflection. As supporters, the temptation is often to view players as assets rather than individuals. Ibrahim's story reminds us that behind every decision lies a human being, grappling with uncertainty, ambition, and loyalty. The club's statement announcing Ibrahim's departure was respectful and succinct. Yet, between the lines, one could sense the recognition of what was being lost: not just a player, but a presence, a standard bearer, a quiet captain. Slot's journey is only just beginning, and it is one filled with potential. But the success of any new era is often measured by how well it respects the contributions of the one before. Letting Ibrahim go may have been necessary, but it also places the onus squarely on the new leadership to deliver. Looking back, Ibrahim's career at the club was filled with defining moments, crucial goals, standout performances, and an unwavering commitment to the cause. He wasn't always the most glamorous name on the team sheet, but he was often the most dependable. He leaves behind a legacy that will be hard to replicate. Future players will don the same shirt, play in the same stadium, and chase the same dreams, but few will carry the same weight of expectation or the same depth of connection with the fan base. That connection was forged not through marketing or media campaigns but through effort, consistency, and humility. In an age where players often chase spotlight over substance, Ibrahim was refreshingly old school. As the season progresses, there may be moments where his absence is deeply felt, perhaps in a crunch match where experience is needed, or during a slump when leadership is lacking. It's in those moments that his true value might be most evident. And yet, time moves on. The team will evolve, new heroes will emerge, and fresh narratives will be written. But there will always be a space in the club's history for Ibrahim, etched not just in stats, but in memories. He walks away with his head held high, his reputation intact, and his heart full. The goodbye may not have been dramatic, but it was meaningful. Quiet exits often leave the loudest echoes. If football is a story of arcs, then Ibrahim's chapter with the club was one of purpose, pride, and ultimately, peace. His next adventure awaits, and the club must now forge its own path under Slot, guided by vision, but grounded in the values that players like Ibrahim helped instill.